Alright, everyone, hello, and welcome to some Dragon Ball Family with your hostess to the mostest. I'm VivaLaGhost, and here, joined by me today, is Mr. Fist of Fury. You love him, you hate him, but let's be real, folks, you love him. I met this dude from VR Chat in one of my VR Chat episodes. Mr. Fist, why don't you take the stage for us?
How's it going, everybody? It's Fist of Fury 219, also known as King Vegeta in our Discord channel. And for some reason, I'm the somewhat proud mother of two Knuckles that come into the VR chat room with us. So thank you for having me, Ghost.
Thank you. So basically, how the whole Dragon Ball Family thing works is we all met on VR chat one day, and we love the whole Dragon Ball franchise. I mean, I grew up on that shit when it first came out, and I gotta say, it's been like a journey. And let's be real, if you haven't seen Dragon Ball, you've been living under a fucking rock. Pardon my language, but that is the truth. If you haven't seen it, go watch it!
Yeah, I have to agree with you wholeheartedly. I remember growing up in middle school, rushing home to catch Toonami just for the newest Dragon Ball episodes. And I'm very fond of the anime. It is my top anime of all time, hands down. There are other animes I do enjoy, but when Dragon Ball is on, my sole attention's on it. But yeah, this is gonna be really fun what we're about to do, and I'm excited to do this.
And for the viewers out there who's wondering who our characters are, I'm always the main character, known as Kakarot, otherwise known as Goku, or knockoff Naruto. And my pal over here is my best buddy Vegeta.
Yeah, we won't talk about best buddies here. But yeah.
So, let me introduce you guys to the very first episode of Dragon Ball Family. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about our top 5 heroes. Mr. Fury, why don't you tell us your number 5?
So basically, my number 5 is a character that's been there from the very beginning. It all started when she shot a little boy in the face. It's going to be Bulma. I believe everything that goes through Dragon Ball, Bulma has some input, or she does something that helps the group out in some way. She survives the future with future Trunks before, the super episode with Zamasu. But no matter what happens in Dragon Ball, Bulma is either around or she's contributed in some way. And let's face it, nobody finds the Dragon Balls without borrowing her Dragon Ball radar. So Bulma secures my number 5 spot for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm going to have to disagree with you on the number 5 for me personally. My number 5 would be none other than Krillin, otherwise known as the Krill Master. And let's face it, guys, he is like the number one hero to actually do stuff in the whole in all the series. Even the non-canon GT, he's there. He helps out Goku, and let's be real, he's good at what he does. He does new techniques, he learns, and he's been Goku's number one rival / friend forever. These two would literally grow up together and train together, and yeah, I just can't put it out in any other words other than that. Krillin is there. He's the staple to the piece of paper that needs stapling. He holds everyone together. So why don't you tell us your number 4?
Yeah, that is good. That's a good analogy for sure. So yeah, okay. So my number 4, I'd have to go with Future Trunks. Basically, the first time you see Trunks, it's just this mysterious guy that shows up when Frieza lands, and he's a guy with a sword. What's more badass than the guy with a sword, honestly? The pink hair really made him stand out to me, and the fact that he just destroyed King Cold and Frieza within an episode, which is uncalled for, since we all know how long it took Goku to beat Frieza when he first turned Super Saiyan. But this kid just comes in and just wipes the floor with him. And then, later on in the episodes, starts training with Vegeta, even though Vegeta reluctantly refuses to train with him. Becomes as powerful, or some say even more powerful than Vegeta. and then goes back to his timeline and just destroys the androids to set his future free from terror. Even kills future Cell in the process before he takes his time machine back to the past. So honestly, Trunks, even though he's a little bit on the fence of being a whiner throughout the entire Android Cell saga, he still was one of my top favorite characters.
That's beautiful. And my number 4 is none other than Gohan, the 11-year-old. It is confirmed, there is a Dragon Ball wiki, that he is 11 years old at this time. Why Gohan is the real question that I'm going to probably get slammed with. Well, besides being the son of Goku, the main character, Gohan has developed as a character / person / superhero, hashtag Great Saiyaman. But anyway, besides all that, he has proven himself to be quite the warrior, and has even changed Piccolo's evil ways, as you'll see in the Saiyan saga, where Piccolo sacrificed himself to save Gohan. I literally cried when Piccolo died as a child. I hated it, but it had to happen. And when he finally turned Super Saiyan for the first time in the hyperbolic time chamber, it was a game changer for the Cell saga. And it was hinting at something that Gohan would be more powerful than Goku. And later on during the Cell saga, it was confirmed that he is, in fact, the most powerful half-breeded Saiyan ever. When he transformed into the Super Saiyan 2 transformation, and during that, it was the most epic moments in my entire life. And we also get another epic moment at the end of the Cell saga with the father-son Kamehameha. I cried, but I was happy at the same time, and I'm just going to say this, in my own opinion, that should have where Dragon Ball Z should have ended. But we all know the Goku fans and the Vegeta fans were going to be slammed saying, "Where's our Goku Vegeta rematch fight? Bring him back. He doesn't deserve that. That's BS." Majin Buu saga. Watch it. So what's your number 3?
It's funny, that your number 4 leads up to my number 3. My number 3 is going to be Gohan's real father, Piccolo. As we've all watched Gohan grow up, Piccolo has been there every step of the way through his development. It was Piccolo who first started training Gohan. It was Piccolo who basically gave up his life for Gohan when Nappa was basically about to kill him. But like you said, Piccolo took the blow like a champ and died for, I would say, his son. But Piccolo throughout the entire Dragon Ball franchise has been able to keep up with Goku and Vegeta in little parts and ways, I would say. When he fused with Nail, he was able to fight Frieza for a time being until he transformed into his third form. And then when Cell showed up, he fused with Kami, and then he was able to be stronger than a Super Saiyan, which actually shocked Vegeta at the time. And he actually kept up with Android 17, which at the time, before anyone knew, was the stronger android out of the 3. And then, after that, he's still a very likable character. We've seen him grow into a very protective person of Earth. And he's, like I said, he's for sure one of the top 3 characters in my eyes when I think of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, well, your number 4, Future Trunks, would be my number 3. So I guess we're just matters of opinion here. My number 3 is definitely Future Trunks. How could you not put this guy up on the higher tier list? This sword-wielding motherfucking Super Saiyan half-breed, even the son of Vegeta, has earned his rightful place on number 3 on my list. This tragic story of the future where the androids have basically demolished the whole Sea Warriors and has left poor future Gohan and Trunks to fight these terrible, menacing androids all by themselves until later on Gohan decides to fight the androids alone and has met his fatal end by them. And once Trunks arrives on the scene, he sees his fallen master, and then awaken, the warrior inside him transforms into a Super Saiyan. And during the time later on in Super, fighting yet another menacing foe, Goku Black, or Zamasu, however you want to put it. Honestly, like, I can't decide between the two sagas and, like, which one has a better storyline, but I think I'm siding with the androids, followed by the Zamasu arc. Like, Trunks, besides being the son of Vegeta, or Prince number 2 of all Saiyans, however you want to look at it. I guess he's like technically Prince in his timeline, considering his father's dead. But yeah, Trunks has really grown as a person, like when he arrives on the scene fighting, like you said earlier, Frieza, and just like taking him down like nothing, like butter, cutting him up. Oh man, there's just so much like to talk about Trunks, but so little time. So I can just say that this sword wielding Saiyan is definitely my number 3 up there. And man, I'm just sure. I am at loss for words. Like, Trunks is like one of my go-to guys, even in fighters. He's like the best, I would say. But enough about that.
Yeah, he for sure had probably one of my favorite Super Saiyan transformations.
Yeah,
of all time in the entire series, I would say.
Yeah, he's definitely had multiple transformations. The fan base even called the latest one Super Saiyan Rage, because it had the blue aura inside the yellow, which was pretty much like hinting something. Maybe Trunks can go Super Saiyan Blue when he comes back later, if they ever decide to bring him back again. So that's my number 3. What's your number 2?
Alright, so basically my number 2 is going to be the top 2 characters, but my number 2 is going to be Goku. Goku has been the franchise of Dragon Ball ever since it started. A young child basically bumped his head, forgot what he was on, came to Earth to do, and is the nicest, most stupidest person you'll ever meet, but is the most lovable. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, Goku is what everybody should strive to be at. Be the best that you can be, and always push your limits and try to be a better person. Goku has given his life, I don't know how many times, probably think like 2 times for Earth, if I remember correctly.
Let's just say a baker's dozen.
Yeah, he just gives his life up every time to protect the Earth and his family. But, you know, the reason he is number 2 on my list is obviously because the person number 1 I have admired and looked up to since I was in middle school and high school through. Is the reason I don't like him is because, let's face it, people, Goku's a dick.
Yeah,
he really doesn't care about his family.
Yeah.
He goes out and trains and just he forgets about everybody. If you all remember the end of Z before Super came out, he said, "Later, everybody, I'm gonna go train this guy I don't even know that's supposed to be a recreation of some evil bastard that I killed, and we're gonna go train. Good luck with your lives." And that's the way they ended Z. And that left a bitter taste in my mouth. Like, wow, way to prove how much of a dick Goku really is. But everyone, oh, we love you, Goku. Go ahead and do your thing. We know you're gonna do this, and all this other stuff. And like even at the end of before the end of Z, it was like what, like 5-10 years before they've seen each other. Bulma had to come over with Vegeta and see that Goten was training with Goku for the next tournament. Like, it just proves how much, how driven Goku is to still train, and he still does. I don't even know if he realizes Chi-Chi's his wife at times.
Yeah, let's be real, but that's something Goku always does. If you haven't been noticing it, when Goku was killed by Cell, or sacrificed himself to Cell, or however you want to look at it, he didn't want to come back to life with the Namekian Dragon Balls. He's like, look guys, all these bad guys keep coming after me, so what happens if I just stay dead? It doesn't work, Goku. Majin Buu still shows up, and your son's like a little bitch at the time. So, but yeah, that's how I view Goku. It's just like, nah, I'm just gonna let you guys fight it out, and if you can't win, then I'm just gonna step in. It's my fetish.
Yeah, honestly, could you imagine if Goku never did come back for that one day on Earth? Like, how screwed the Earth would have been. Like, they would have never learned fusion. He probably wouldn't even know Earth was under attack, honestly, because his focus would still be on training with King Kai.
He probably like sensed it, like he can still sense energy. So he still has that instant transmission. He used it to go back to save Gohan from BoJack. So like, we don't even.
That's
he can
non-canon,
pretty much.
Actually. You can't say that actually. That's not canon. But
sometimes I feel like the movies are canon. Some of them, at least, like the Garlic Jr. movie and that BoJack one, that kind of made sense. But so Goku's your number 2? I'm gonna have to say.
I'm set on Goku.
I'm gonna have to say Piccolo.
Like I said, if you think of Dragon Ball, the first person you think about is Goku, honestly. But yeah, go on. What's your number 2?
It's the Demon King himself, otherwise known as Slugman Piccolo. This smart Namekian was downright, in his own right, technically a villain, but has once again been changed by Goku and Gohan, if you want. He is the most strategic and most skilled fighter out there. He comes up with these amazing techniques that just blows everyone's minds. Like when he introduced the him getting bigger at the World Tournament where he fought Goku, that literally scared the shit out of me when I was a kid, seeing that for the first time. And then being showed mercy by Goku. And I didn't know if they were hinting okay, maybe these two are going to be friends one day. Sure enough, enter the Saiyan Saga. They are friends. But only until Piccolo uses his special beam cannon to kill both Raditz and Goku. And then later on in the Frieza Saga, where he sacrifices himself to save Goku for the Spirit Bomb or whatever, and then later on just to protect Goku. And then during the Cell Saga, I believe, he fused with Kami, and then he became that Namekian once again, who somehow forgot his own name. You'd think he would have wrote it down or something. And then during the Buu Saga, he's basically I don't know if he's done with fighting or trying to be a bodyguard for Dende at the point. But you can tell he's pretty much gotten old and it's just mellowed with age. And then Super comes around and they just decide to pump him somewhat back up in between the Cell Saga and Frieza Saga, right around there. I'd say before he refused with Kami. For me personally, he's right around there for now in Super. But probably my greatest moment was for Piccolo, him sacrificing himself to save Gohan, like I said earlier. That moment is literally probably the best moments for Piccolo and the worst. I'm sorry. Just Piccolo alone is by far my number 2 when it comes to heroes. He's really
Piccolo, I think,
grown
kind of
as a
down after the
character.
Cell Saga, actually. You really don't see him fight. He's basically training Goten and Trunks out of Fuse.
And Gohan.
Basically, he didn't really do anything for Gohan. He was just basically watching everything go down. And then he gets absorbed by Buu. And then still, Piccolo doesn't become relevant till Super, where he joins the tournament. Well, he fights the Frieza Force when they show up, and of course he wasn't going to beat the crap out of Beerus.
No, he fights Frieza. He doesn't fight the Ginyu Force.
No, I'm saying within Super. He
fights the army.
He's only done. That's the only thing he's done.
I need to rewatch some movies.
Got stomped.
Oh man! So I think we all can agree on our number 1 hero is none other than the Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta.
Yeah, my number 1, of course, is going to be Vegeta.
Why do we like Vegeta?
Why do we love Vegeta? It's because he's basically every guy's inner asshole. He's just a total dick. But here's the thing: he is the dick that everybody loves to be. I mean, honestly, I look at Vegeta, and like the one thing I see more than anything is how prideful he is about his heritage and him being a Saiyan. That's the one thing that I myself, as a person, always take pride in. Is basically my background from where I come from, and he just takes it to like the highest it can be. He like everything he does, everything he says. It's arrogant, cocky, but all of it's about him being prideful and accepting the next challenge in his life. And if he gets his ass whooped, he just literally learns from that and he tries to become stronger. And there's always one person he's always trying to keep up with, and that's Goku. And I think we saw in Super that, you know, as far as Goku's getting, Vegeta is like breathing down his neck.
Yeah, he's like creeping up on Goku at this point. Like him and like both of them are literally neck and neck in this race to power and being number one, which, let's be real, folks, none of them are going to be number one. They're just going to be those two characters that are just going to be rivals forever because of Zeno being the king of all gods. It'll never happen. They'll both just like use each other as punching bags and just have a good laugh or two, like you saw at the end of the Boo Saga, where they're just chilling at Bulma's party, where Goku shows up late. For me, like, Vegeta is, like how you said earlier, prideful, powerful, a loving, caring husband, better than Goku, to be honest.
By far. If you actually see it, like Vegeta actually spends time with his family.
Yeah, he actually, like,
if you can see, he actually took time to train his son, Trunks. After like neglecting to train with the future Trunks, you see him like at the beginning
of Z, training Kid Trunks to be stronger than Goten, and like later on in Super, he like takes time out of his training to be with Bulma because Bulma is pregnant with Bola or Bra, however you want to say her name, because he wanted to be there for her because he wasn't there for Trunks because he was out in space or whatever training for the androids that future Trunks warned them about.
Yeah, the only time Goku's actually been around his son to take care of him, actually, if you think about it, is when they had the hyperbolic time chamber. Vegeta, on the other hand, has actually spent more time with his family than I think Goku has ever done. I think in Super is like the longest you've ever actually seen Goku actually spend time with Goten. So that was actually a big surprise for me. It was like, wow, he's farming with his son. But yeah, you look at Vegeta, he's going on vacations with his entire family, with Bulma and Trunks. And then, like you said, he did not want to leave for the tournament until after Bulma had their daughter.
Yeah, he's just like a better like person than Goku is, personally. This is only our opinions, by the way. But let's
and also, like, this is the one thing, if you've watched Dragon Ball Z as much as I have, there's nobody that developed like the entire series. There's nobody that developed more than Vegeta's, entire how do you say it? Basically, like, from being the baddest guy, killing everybody heartlessly, and then becoming this anti-hero that we all love. And then
he's not really an anti-hero anymore.
He isn't. He's not an anti-hero anymore, but like because he was the only one that would kill, and that's the one thing that we all know. And he said it best in like the Resurrection of Beth, that he doesn't share the same type of sympathy that Goku does. And he says, "I'll kill you. I don't care." That's the thing we like about Vegeta, is like Goku won't kill anybody, but Vegeta sure will.
Yeah, Goku like just gives way too many second chances for his enemies. Like, you've seen it with the Red Ribbon Army and Frieza by far. Maybe a little bit with Cell, but I don't think Cell really counts. And Boo, I would say Boo.
I think Cell was kind of like, like trying to prove a point that Gohan was able to kill him.
Yeah, but let's take a moment and ask ourselves this: which Vegeta is our favorite? we might have different opinions and why.
Favorite Vegetas.
Yeah, which Vegeta?
Honestly,
it could be from any saga.
The one that I love the most has to be Majin Vegeta. Basically, it's the Vegeta that we all like. I grew up, all about pride, all about being better than Goku, and for him, the whole speech that he gave through the entire episodes that I saw him, where he was just saying, you can take over my mind and my body, but there's one thing you won't take away from me is my pride. That was like the most badass thing I ever heard from any anime, and no anime will ever top that line. Christopher Sabath destroyed that line. He is probably my favorite voice actor in any anime, and the way he delivered that was so powerful that to this day, it's like one of my all-time favorite quotes from any anime.
Yeah, I think that quote right there was probably one of my favorites from Vegeta, but I would have to say I'm going to take it up a notch to Super and say Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta when he gets his shining moment in fighting Frieza as a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Because back during the Frieza saga, he got killed and begged Goku to finish the job, which let's just say he did, technically. He never got to finish off Frieza like he wanted to, but by the miracle of Toriyama, Vegeta gets that shining moment until Goku, steals it. Yeah, so Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta will be my favorite Vegeta. I don't know about what you think of that, but I think right there is a golden, it's up there for me.
I definitely agree. Watching Frieza kind of be surprised that Vegeta is a Super Saiyan Blue or a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan by the time
the fact that he can transform into a Super Saiyan whatever.
Yeah, they keep changing these Super Saiyan forms, but yeah, that was a very big moment for me in the theaters to watch it. But then again, Toriyama just takes away whatever Vegeta gets and hands it back to Goku. I was about to leave the theater. I will not lie. I was about to leave the theater right where Frieza just blew up the Earth, killed everybody except for the people that were around Whis and Beerus.
Yeah.
Is that, we'll give you a redo. I'm just like, oh great, they're just gonna they're gonna give it to Goku again.
They were hinting.
As a fan,
they were hinting something.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
They were hinting something later on, and we all didn't know it, but Future Trunks Goku Black arc.
Oh yeah, that's still another thing. Another scene Vegeta's that I liked. They get their butts whooped like 2 times, and then they come back, and then Vegeta is just handing an ass whooping to Black Goku, saying, you know what, you think that this body better than Kakarot does? Well, you're nothing but a false Saiyan in there. You don't know how to work his body as well as he does. And he just grabs him by his head and just taunting him. He just keeps beating the crap out of him. That was a really good scene.
I wanted to say something about that. What if Zamasu actually went back in time and took Vegeta's body as well as Goku? How would have that played out for both of them fighting a darker, evil, quote unquote version of them? Because they kind of were hinting at it with the purple Vegeta in the filler episode.
Yeah, that the one thing that I'll say about that is the problem with Saiyan bodies, and Ginyu figured this out when he actually body changed with Goku, is that you do not know how to work another person's body and use their full potential. And that is actually kind of the problem that Zamasu had when he took Goku's body, was he did not know how deep of a potential Goku had and how strong he really was, because he did not know how to control his ki. So basically, if you think about it, it'd be the same way for Zamasu if he did the same thing for Vegeta. He does not know how to use his body's ki and how to work it very well. But the only thing that he would get, and I think we both agree, is that Zenkai boost that Toriyama just keeps forgetting that the Goku and Vegeta and Gohan himself have. So that's one thing that I think that he needs to remember more than anything, besides forgetting characters like Launch, that he needs to keep that consistent.
Yeah. And I wanted to point out what you said about Ginyu. The same thing happened with Baby in GT. He actually succeeds in taking everyone's body except for Goku. And like I don't know if he was getting weak at the time, but like I think he wanted to take Goku's body as well, but like he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna kill you, and like he almost does, and like he didn't go Super Saiyan 4 when he was in the Great Ape form, but he just like was at Great Ape and never went to Super Saiyan 4 while he was in Vegeta's body in GT.
Yeah, again, I think that's just kind of the one thing that Toriyama does keep consistent is that it's hard to control somebody else's body and their ki if it's not your own body.
Right. It's like this. If you're gonna take over someone's body, you're not gonna get their like full potential or whatever. You're just gonna get a little bit of yours and like a little access of their body or whatever. But enough about
Yeah,
bodies
exactly.
and stuff. We just want to say this: Vegeta by far is our number one hero in the whole Dragon Ball saga. From the moment he landed on Earth with Nappa, we could tell that he was powerful and like Toriyama was gonna go somewhere with him. And you can tell from the Frieza to the Cell to the Boo to the GT to even Super arcs, Vegeta has by far changed and developed as a character. So what do you think about that?
I fully agree. I'm just, I'm glad that, Toriyama kept Vegeta a consistent character in the entire series and that he continues to be a consistent character. I know Toriyama will never put Vegeta above Goku, but in our hearts, we all know that Vegeta is better than Goku.
Right, but if there's one thing us fan bases want, it's to see who would win in a fight between Goku and Vegeta. Hopefully we'll get that one day, and we'll see who is the better, and you know what? We'll just say who is the better fighter out of both of them. Let's just hope it's Vegeta and not
Yeah.
Goku. Let's
most likely going to be Goku, as much as we wish it's not. Basically, we all know that
no,
Goku
It's
is the poster
gonna
boy.
end in a tie between them two. Like they'll both be knocked out of
you know
the
what?
World Tournament ring.
If you remember, I mean, it's not canon, but I mean, there was, the last fight of Goku and Vegeta, where supposedly they ended in a draw in the sky, and that's the last time anybody ever saw them. So that's what I heard. I think there was a video of it in Dragon Ball Heroes, which is a Japanese game, where that was actually part of the story.
I haven't played Heroes, but I will definitely look at that once this video is pretty much done and over with. But it sounds fun and epic. But I'd say, let's ask you this. What video game is your favorite Vegeta in?
Jeez, that is a definitely tough question. I have to say right now it's a tie. I'm really enjoying Fighters. The Vegetas
Same.
in there are my two mains. But honestly, the one that stays close to my heart has to be Budokai 3's Vegeta. I mean, you can have Super Saiyan 1, 2, Majin, and Super Saiyan 4. And it was just such a fun game at the time, and that's actually where I learned a lot of my voice acting skills on how to speak like Vegeta and other characters. So I would have to say my favorite Vegeta is from Budokai 3.
I would have to completely agree with you on that. I almost said Budokai 2, the game board one, and then like followed by 1. But I think we can all agree that Budokai is definitely our favorite Vegeta by far.
For sure.
Because that's where I definitely like picked up on fighting games from that start. And then just I quit, and now I'm playing fighters again with you and getting my ass whooped by your Vegetas. Oh boy.
Well, I mean, it's still a learning process. I mean, I play that game, and there's still people better than me. But
Yeah.
I mean, like Vegeta, I rise to that challenge, and I try to get better every time. And you know what? I see myself improve every day.
Yeah, I am. If I was like 10 years old, I'd probably be a little bit better, but I'm not. But I'm like relearning, like Gohan when he lost his power and then somehow regained it. I'm literally a Gohan right now, and you're just like the Vegeta. But
You need more training.
yeah. Definitely need some training. but I will rise to the challenge like Goku does and hopefully win.
Well, time will tell for sure.
So that was this episode. Episode 2 will be in a link down in the description below, where we will be discussing our top 5 villains. I can't wait.
Really interesting for sure. And yeah, the link will be down below for my channel, which would be Fist of Fury 219. I will be recording the episode with Ghost, and we hope to see you guys in the next episode
of Dragonball Family. That's what we're calling this now. #DBF.